Hey, what's up? David Tao back again, and I want to talk to you now about combining open chord chucking and bar chord chucking within the same song or same progression, okay? Now, if you're up to this point in your guitar journey, the lessons before this, pretty much previously, you've been working on your bar chord chucking, right? And I took you through some examples and practice with that. And earlier on in the beginner section, you should have watched the modules on open chord chucking. So at this point, you should be able to chuck with open chords using that palm of your hand, of your pick hand, hitting the strings to create that percussive slap. And you should be doing that with different strum patterns like we've been working on. And now that you got your bar chords, you should be able to do it with bar chords. And that chucking is done by just coming off pressure with the fret hand, right? And next lesson, I'm going to be giving you some song examples and suggestions that have both bar chord, open chord chucking, and so you could use those as vehicles. And I'm going to give you a few progressions right now just to mess around, to start to practice this, okay? And whether you could do this whether you have acoustic or electric. I'm doing this with an acoustic, but you could do it with anything, either or. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a few examples and we're going to practice, okay? Now let's start simple and then we'll go from there. So let's just take like a C, open C major chord, and we're going to change that to an F bar chord, okay? And you should be good at that change by now. Back and forth, right? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to hold the strum down on the C and chuck, and then, which is the open chord chucking, and then we're going to change to the F chord and we're going to do bar chord chucking. Okay, now let's pick an easy strum, maybe like something that I don't want you to have to think about the strum too much. I want you to work more on the chucking. So just take an old strum like strum 2. Down, chuck, up, down, chuck, up, chuck, up. And that strum is just down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, F, up, down, down, up, C. We'll do 2 measures each. Down, up, F. Right? So take that strum and chuck. Do like a down, chuck, up, chuck, up, 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 down, down, chuck, up, down, chuck, up. 2 chucks within that measure. And I was just holding the C chord, but I want you to do it so where you can go from the C and chuck and then change to the F and chuck, okay? And it might take a little bit of practice now because you're going to have to use that, like the right hand, the fret hand coming down with the palm for the open chords. And then on the bar chord, you come off pressure, which is easier. Right? It's much easier on the bar chord chucking. So this is going to get you proficient at doing both, because so many songs you're going to need both, and you got to be able to do it while you're changing chords in time, okay? So let's just go nice and slow, C to the F with chucking. It'll sound like this with that strum 2. Play along with me. C, up, chuck, up, down, chuck, up, chuck, up, F, chuck, up, chuck, up, down, chuck, up, chuck, up, down. Nice and clean. Whack. Throw that right hand in on that open chords. Now I'm coming off pressure with my left hand. Beautiful. Whack, 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 chuck. Very good, okay? So start off basic when you're doing both bars and opens and chucking together, and then you could start adding more chords in. Let's make it the C, F, let's go to the G. And we'll play like a 1-4-5. C, F, which is the 4 chord, and in the key of C, G is the 5 chord. Okay, so now with the G, let's go C to the F, to the C, then we'll go to the G for a measure, to the F for a measure, back to the C for a measure, and then we'll go to the G, to the turnaround for 1 measure. So it'll sound like this. Here we go on the C for 2 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4. Strong chuck, F for 2 measures. Back to the C for 2 measures. Go back to the F again. Now to the G for 1. To the F for 1. Back to the C for 1. Now to the G. All down strokes. Back to the C. 2 measures. Chucking. F bar chord chucking. Back to the C. 2 measures. F. Now G for 1 measure chuck. F 1 measure. C 1 measure. G. One more time. Chucking this open C chord. Chucking the bar G chord, F chord, C chord, F chord. Now 1 measure to the G, 1 measure to the F, 1 measure to the C, G. Very good, very good. We're doing these open and bar chord chucks together. All I did when I went to the G was 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 8th notes all downstroke. That's that G, that 5 chord resolves so nicely to the 1. Okay? Let's do another one. Let's take another progression. Let's do A minor this time to an F. So you should be good at that. A minor open, F bar. A minor open, F bar. Try it 2 measures each. Same chuck. Same strum. Sounds nice. Chucking on the A minor chord, 2 measures. Bar chord chucking on the F. A minor. F. Good. Practice that, and then when you get good at that, you can go backwards and try it F to A minor. Bar chord chucking. Sounds a little bit more dramatic. F. A minor. Bar chord chucking on the F, 2 measures. Open chord chucking on the A minor. Very good, and do that with all the strums you've been working on. Do it with 16th note strums that we've been working on. Down, up, down, up, down, down, up, 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 down, up, down, up. Down, up, down, up, down, down, up, up, down, up, down, up. So you could do it with all your strum patterns, right? The trick is, I want you doing the chucking with opens and bars and commingling it together, okay? Whatever strum pattern. Let's take that same A minor to F, and I'm just going to give you some more examples. Then let's go to a C open to a G open. And on the C to the G, use that 3-finger G with the pinky, because that makes that going, remember, that C to G easy. So the chord change will be A minor, open chord, you're going to chuck, F, bar chord chuck, C, open chord chuck to a G, open chord chuck, right? And it'll sound like this, and we'll just use that same strum we've been using. Down, chuck, up, chuck, up. There's your F. C, G, little bit. C, G, see, I was changing the strum up a little bit, and that's another way to embellish, you know. You can add suspended chords, change the strum, chuck. All these rhythmic elements are adding interest and melody to your song and makes them interesting, right? Try it with a different strum. Maybe let's do down, up, down, up, down, up. Down, up, chuck, up, chuck, up. Okay, it'll give the song a little different flair. That's strum 1 that we worked on a long time ago, right? What seems like ages ago. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So put it the down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So the chuck will be like down, up, down, down, up, chuck, up, chuck, up, down, up, chuck, up, chuck, up. Okay, something like that. Let's try it. Same progression. A minor, F, C to the G. Isn't this fun? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor. Chuck, up, chuck, up, F. Chuck, up, chuck, up, down, up, chuck, up, down, up, C. Up, down, up, chuck, up, up, G. Again, A minor. Down, up, chuck, up, C. All downstrokes to the G. Build. 2 and 3 and 4 and see how we're creating interest, dynamics. Very good. You're doing great. Okay, how about another one? Let's play a B minor chord, bar chord, 2nd fret, off of the A string root. Okay, and let's change that to a D major 7th. Very cool change. Now, if you're not familiar with this D major 7th, I think it's in the chord library. You can go there, or basically you're barring with your first finger across the high E, the B, and the G strings on the 2nd fret, and you're playing the open D string. It's a major 7th chord. If you haven't learned your major 7th chords yet, they're coming up in the lessons, so you're going to want to learn them. Very pretty, very sweet and jazzy. Remember we talked about that. So you're going to change that B minor 7th. I'm sorry, we'll just do B minor to the D major 7th. And just kind of slide that first finger down, and you can make that change very easily. Hook your thumb over to mute the low E and the A strings on that D major 7th if you can get them. At least mute the low E string. I mute the A string too, but you might not be able to get it that far over. I have pretty big hands. At least mute the low E, because you don't want to hear this on that chord. Totally muddies it. You want to hear it from that open D string. So try change, just nice and slow. Pretty. Here's your B minor. D major 7th. B minor. And what I was doing there is I'm using all downstrokes. Down, down, chuck. Down, 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 chuck, down, down. Jazzier. Okay, you could even do it with just a regular strum, 8th note kind of feel. Down, down, up, down, up, down, chuck, up, down, up. Mix it up. Okay, so that's a nice one. B minor to that D major 7. Let's make it a little more challenging, okay? Let's take a B minor to the D major 7, then go to a C sharp minor. 4th fret on that C sharp note on the A string root. Remember, mute out that, like on the B minor, mute out the low E string with that first finger, letting it spill over like we talked about. So C sharp minor, bar chord, to a low E string root, bar chord, F sharp minor at the 2nd fret, low E string, and that's F sharp minor. I'll flash all these chords, the fret numbers, so in case you're not familiar with them, you can play them. Okay? Those are all really nice chords, work well together. Alright, so we're going to go B minor, D major 7th, C sharp minor, to F sharp minor. Nice, huh? So just work on the change first, the mechanics. And then when you get it, don't even chuck yet until you get a little bit comfortable with it. Just try it with a regular strum. Choosing strum 2. This is the hardest change yet, but I want to push you to that next level, and that's how you do it, by challenging yourself with harder songs, harder pieces of music, harder progressions, harder techniques. That's how you get better, and that's what we're here for, to help you get to the next level in your guitar journey. So let's do it with now a chuck. So we're chucking with bar chords on that B minor, C sharp minor, and F sharp minor, and that open D major 7. You notice I'm kind of put my fingers on the strings too on that, just to give it a little bit more muting. I'm hitting it with that right hand. Kind of have the habit of doing that too, doing them both. Okay, so let's try it with that same down, chuck, up, chuck, up strum. 2, 3, 4. Beautiful. Okay, write those down in your practice log and practice those progressions. And practice going from those open chords to the bar chords and bar chords to open chords while chucking. This is another element you're adding to your playing. And man, these artistic embellishments really take your playing to the next level. So I want you to give those a try. Don't give up. Okay, I know the opens to bars are tough changes, and then you throw the chucking on top of that, but again, it's all a progression, it's an evolution, and you can do it. Anybody can play guitar. Just keep putting it in your hands. Look at the progress you're making so far, okay? So I'll see you in the next lesson. Take care and rock on.